Hey guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. Special weekend video. This one is going to be a mess. Forewarned, I'm going to be all over the place on this one. There's a lot of different nooks and crannies, alcoves as they may call them on this one. It is a sordid tale and it involves Hunter Biden. Of course it does. And I also believe it affects you and me. And I'm going to ask, where's the media on this one? People are not talking about it and they should be. It's going to be a mess. Buckle up. Here we go. Hey, this episode is brought to you by the Big Dude Bag. It's a monthly bag for all you outdoor enthusiasts. Camping, survival, and outdoor gear, and their new Pop Dude Bag is awesome. Memorabilia, collectibles, and more from your favorite movies. The April Pop Bag is Super Troopers. Use code RAMROD to get a free nightstick when you order the Pop Bag over at thedudebag.com. Link is down below, and a reminder to use that coupon code. To each of y'all, thank you for every thumbs up. Y'all been crushing it. Had a great time yesterday with Spicy Friday. Thank y'all for all of that fun. It was a good week this week. Had a lot of fun. I spent a lot of today reading everything that I could find on Hunter Biden and the Rudy Tooty that he put into a trash can. It's what they're talking about. Turns out he didn't put it in the trash can, but it was his Rudy Tooty. So I, again, am going to be all over the place on this one. It is a mess. And if I miss something, I want to challenge y'all to go do your own research. Anytime you deal with Hunter Biden, you're dealing with a dirt bag. It is going to be something out of a tale written by Elmore Leonard. And I also want to remind you that all of the media is propaganda, and it is in many ways the arm of the DNC. So I believe very little of it, but I read every single thing that I could find. It's a lot. It's a mess. You're not going to believe some of this. And finally, it does have to do with y'all. I really do believe that. So some years ago, 18 or 19, Hunter Biden filled out a 4473. And the reason I said 18 or 19, I'm reading multiple reports from different time periods, but it's right in that a few years ago. He filled out a 4473. If you're new to this world, when you buy a Rudy Tooty, you fill out a 4473. It's an ATF form. It's not a big deal. Are you an American citizen? Yes. Have you been, in the middle of crimes and stuff? No. Are you a illegal user of a controlled substance like drugs? No. Oh, not in Hunter Biden's case. Yeah. He was released from the Naval Reserve for use of cocaine. That is documented. And in his book that's coming out this April, he has called himself a lifelong addict. His words. Also, his family has referred to his addiction for many, many years. Plus, he was also kicked out of the VIP lounge of a strip club for smoking crack inside of the VIP lounge of a strip club. I don't know, maybe on the 4473 he should have clicked yes. Now, remember this, filling out a 4473 has consequences. It is a felony to lie on it, and it has punishment for up to 10 years in the federal pokey. Now, also keep in mind, I learned this today, that the 4473 lies across the board. Anyone that lies on the 4473 are almost never, I think the words were exceedingly rare for anyone to be prosecuted for lying on a 4473, including Hunter. So he goes into, and the name of the store is StarQuest Shooters and Survival Supply. So he goes in and picks up a Saturday night special, a .38 revolver. He gets his .38 revolver, and at some point, and the media, I'm chasing it, the media refers to Hallie Biden as the daughter-in-law of the president. Always says Hunter Biden, the son of the president, and the president's daughter-in-law, Hallie Biden. Never forget that Hallie Biden is not married to Hunter. Hallie Biden was married to Beau Biden, who has since deceased. After Hunter's brother passed away, Hunter dated Hallie for a time, apparently a long time, and then while he was dating his dead brother's widow, he knocked up a stripper and got a stripper pregnant. All that has been well documented. We all have problems. I eat too much fried chicken. Let he or she who is without sin cast the first stone, but this is part of the sordid tale. So at some point, Hunter Biden lied on his 4473 and had that Rudy Tooty, the .38 revolver, in his vehicle. Hallie, the daughter-in-law of the president, went and at some point took it out of his vehicle, went to a grocery store behind the grocery store and threw it in a trash can. I couldn't see if it was a dumpster or a smaller trash can. I don't know. It sounded at some point like it was a dumpster. A lot of tales from a lot of different sources. Now, at some point, the Delaware police got involved. Now, remember, this is in a school zone. Right across the street is a local high school. So we're dealing with Rudy Tooties and high schools and high-powered individuals, well-connected. And oh my gosh, I'm chasing this one too. You're not going to believe this. The Delaware police said that as law enforcement, they wanted to investigate this because they were concerned because the trash can was close to a high school. You mean they weren't concerned because it was a revolver inside of a trash can? Oh no, just because it was close to a high school. So if it had been in a non-school zone, Hallie and Hunter would have been scot-free. But what do I know? So it's in the trash can. Remember, it's a felony. It was an illegally purchased Rudy Tootie. I'm not chasing that one. And then at some point, the Secret Service gets involved. According to the sources, it says that the Secret Service came to the shooting supply store and asked for the 4473. That form asked them for it. Now, here's the deal. This is why that's important. The 4473s are always to be held by the local FFL, or gun store, you can call it. And the gun store, did not comply. They said, no, you're not getting it. You're not getting this. That's not how the rules work. You never turn those over to the ATF or the Secret Service. Also, why is the Secret Service in Delaware chasing down Hunter Biden? That's the sordid tale, and that's what I want to know. Why is no one chasing this? Very few people are chasing this. Now, the left loves to brag, and this is the current administration. One of their main talking points is how they are going to clean the streets up, how they are going to be the ones to enact all this new legislation that's coming out. Daddy Biden, the big guy, he has repeatedly bragged, and he did it even this week, about how he enacted all this 1990s legislation. All of these rules, how he's going to fix things. Yet Hunter, his own son, goes around the current laws and gets an illegal .38 revolver. It's complete, I'm going to use the word nonsense. So you already have the Delaware police involved, and you have the Secret Service involved, and it spins on from there. Now, one source said it was bought in 2018, that the 4473 happened in 2018, and that at some point either in 18 or 19, multiple sources said that Hallie went and threw it in the trash can, and they went and found it. Turns out some guy that digs through trash cans found it, and he turned it in the next day. But here's what's amazing to me, is you have one of the most well-connected mob families in America, high power, and this guy who has been on crack and cocaine and all sorts of stuff has his dead brother's widow out digging in a trash can. Yes, he did. At one point, Hunter got upset and said, Hallie, go find that Rudy Tootie in the trash can, sent her back to the grocery store to dig in a trash can. Well connected. Sending your dead brother's widow to go dig in a trash can for your Rudy Tootie. Absolute mess. Now, one thing I do want to mention, this is another aside. I told you it was going to be a mess. I wanted to chase down Hunter Biden's dismissal from the Naval Reserve. And immediately you're going to see who is the bad guy? Donald Trump. Of course. Why? Well, in a speech, Donald Trump mentioned at one point that Hunter Biden was dishonorably discharged from the Naval Reserve. And so when you look at what the fact checkers say, they say that's partly false. It's partly false. Why? Well, if you get kicked out for a positive drug test, you're not dishonorably discharged. That's not what the form is. It's an administrative discharge. So the media, the propaganda machine of the DNC, of course, they try to blame it on Trump and say, it's partly false. He was not dishonorably discharged for using cocaine while in the Naval Reserve. He was given an administrative discharge. That was a fun one to chase down. And that was back in 2014. Also in the current, another one to chase. In the current stories that are getting talked about, they kind of gloss it over and they say that the 1819 incident was after and during the season after he was distraught. Hunter was distraught about being dismissed from the Navy. The naval dismissal was in 2014. It was between 4 and 5 years later. That's not the same era. That is years later. I can do math. Now, here's where I want to chase one more and then tell you how this all has to do with you. Hope you're having fun with this. It's a mess. As I read, and I did see one thing on the news last night, they said, well, the Secret Service got involved in the Hunter Biden situation. Why? Okay, all right, that's worth it. That's worth it. We need to have a conversation on that. Why is the Secret Service involved in a 2018-19 incident with Hunter? Because that's not who chases 4473s down. But the more you read, and the mainstream media are glossing over the fact that the FBI were also involved. They were investigating him on his overseas deals and all sorts of tax nonsense. Follow the money, y'all. So the FBI is involved. The ATF also got involved. The Secret Service was involved and the local Delaware police involved. That is a lot of agencies, and absolutely nothing happened. And then the fifth big one, the White House is now involved. And do they have anything to say about it? Nope, not so much. They glossed over it as well. My question is, where's the media on this? We're in an age right now where those people are writing new legislation as fast as they can. We're under the biggest attack we've ever been under, and yet this story breaks and they won't touch it. Why? Well, I think it further goes to show that laws and books don't affect anything. Criminals don't follow laws. How does this affect you? We need to watch and see. The left loves to hold up examples of anything they can use. Sandy Hook, Vegas, anything they can use to push legislation through. Now currently Colorado and Atlanta. They use those as examples to push more legislation through. We'll see what happens with this one because I think it might break just a little bit more open in the coming days. But this does affect me and you, and we need to be watching. 38 revolvers to anyone that's against us or me owning whatever I want from my cold, dead hands. Bye.